unaweza make if Omanyala can make it,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I can. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I like also about Omanyala is that he's constantly talking about, like making this normal for Kenya.
Yes,
Having other people,
I love
like
it.
grow up in the sprints.
Exactly.
Because short distance, I think people just used to be like, okay, like after high school, that's it. Because there's nowhere further that I can go. But now that people are seeing a Kenyan, like raised in Kenya, can actually get to this level where
Yeah.
Omanyala is now. So I think people are getting in.
Kenyan Ferdinand Omanyala is aiming at creating a world record and becoming the first African to ever win a medal in a 100-meter at the world event. The world event, which is being hosted in Mayfield in Oregon, is usually a tournament that carries the cream de la cream of who is in the wrestling world. Omanyala, who comes with as the African 100 meters champion, is going to be competing against a very heavy field of Fred Curley, who Omanyala beat in Nairobi, and who is who has the fastest world speed right now of 9.7 seconds. Omanyala saying that he only needs to improve and clean up his stats, and he believes that he will be able to put the tournament to lead the tournament and come out a winner in this one. He believes that if he wins this, he's going to open up the 100 meters category to more Africans. So I just want to bring it back to my panelists into the studio. These are people that Omanyala has currently beaten before. He did have the home advantage of being in Kenya when he did win that fight in the Kipkeino Classic. Remember also in the African Classic, he went and became the African champion and winning, being the first man in Africa. So Ali, these are right now. Omanyala has had races with the same runners in the same field in the Olympics, in the Kipkeino Classic, but this is his first world international meet. How do you place him to do this one?
Yes, so I think this will be Omanyala's introduction to the world. This is when the world will be seeing Omanyala. I mean, he was there in the last Olympics, but he did not make it to the final. So this will be the first time the world are recognizing who Omanyala is. I think he's the firm favorite. If everything goes well, I think he wins this one. And this will be a new dawn to Kenya's short distance running, because I think there's other younger athletes who are seeing this, short distance athletes who are seeing this, and they're getting encouraged by it. So I'm so excited. I think we Kenyans need to start creating a movement to go to Oregon, the same way we used to go to Las Vegas, the same way people are going to LA. I think this would be a very good event that Kenyans can consider attending. I don't know the exact structure of the event, but I think this is one of those places where we at least know we're gonna win in the longer distances. But now come to the shorter distances, and I think there's also women who are coming up in Kenya's shorter distances. So I do expect a very good train from Omanyala. I actually expect a win. Mika.
Thank you, Lee. Uno, quick question. So Omanyala currently says that his speed is 9.6. Fred Kelly, who is currently being touted as the fastest, has a speed of 9.7. He believes the championship can be won if somebody ran a speed of 9.55 to 9.6. He also believes that if he can improve his time and get to the world record times of 9.5 seconds. Uno, do you believe if he had a clean run and he did a 9.6, we'll really see him raising up the hand? Or do you believe the opponents understand his speed and they can also improve on their current speed?
I believe he can have a clean run. I mean, so far, he has been showing consistency in climbing, in elevating his runs, whatever, it was 10, I think 10.55, whatever, but he has been consistently showing that he is anapanda stairs. He's climbing. So yes, I do believe, without doubt, that he can. He has a few more. I don't think he's gonna do the 9.3 mile by Usain Bolt. However, I would not be surprised if he does it. I would not be surprised. So I believe, yes, he can. Anaweza, because he has shown, because slowly by slowly he has been knocking out. Okay, it was the 9 point something, 9 this, 9 this. So yes, he can. I believe.
I think, I think Usain Bolt's world record, that's stretching it a bit. I think he can do it maybe in the future. I don't see it happening in Oregon. He's gonna, I don't think Omanyala has peaked. He has not peaked.
Not yet.
I think he's
And that's
a
what I'm
couple of
saying.
years away to peaking. So I think he might get close to it. He might even break it. Who knows? But to me, I see the winner in this World Championships. Even that 9.7, it's not easy.
It's not, boss. It's not easy. And
It's
actually,
not easy.
you guys, you remember the guy 1988? Was it?
His
Innocent
name was
Ibonike?
no. His name was. Are you talking about the African?
No, the 100 meter, 100, 110.
Carl
Innocent?
Lewis.
No, the African. I'm talking about the African.
So the African, maybe you're talking
Frankie
about Olapedia
Frankie
Deniken,
Frederick.
or
No.
the
Frankie
Nigerian.
Frankie Fredericks was, I think, 400. I'm talking about the 100 dash. I think it was Ibunike.
There was a
Innocent Ibunike. I stand
Okay.
to be corrected.
yeah.
But this is good for Kenya.
Yes.
Because we've always been known to be long distance guys. But
Mhm.
now, if there's short sprint and you unawes make, if Omanyala can make it,
hmm
yes, I can. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I like also about Omanyala is that he's constantly talking about, like making this normal for Kenya.
Yes,
Having other people,
I love
like
it.
grow up in the sprints.
exactly.
Because short distance, I think people just used to be like, okay, like after high school, that's it. Because there's nowhere further that I can go. But now that people are seeing a Kenyan, like raised in Kenya, can actually get to this level where
Yeah.
Manyala is now. So I think people are getting encouraged.
And before, let me just say this. And I think, I was watching I was watching a replay of Wales and South Africa game that happened this past weekend. I was just watching a replay.
Rugby.
Yeah, rugby.
Mhm.
And there were guys who were making a comment like, I don't think we'll ever be. I'm like, no. Yes, we can. Unfortunately, us guys in Kenya, we start viewing rugby or playing rugby when we're in our teens, 13, 14, 15, to Kingia High School. But I believe if we can start introducing it when we are like 4, 5, 6, depending on the age or the right age, by the time these kids are getting 14, 15, even if 19, tutakuwa na team fiti sana. And that is my belief. So even if we start sprinting at a certain age and identify the talent,
Early.
Omanyala speed,
Mhm.
mapema, and we hone on that. And yes, Brenda BK, I have faith in this. Kaende,
Okay.
katambe. Yes, Mika.
Since OneMic has decided to bring us into rugby, we'll just continue with that trajectory where yesterday Kenya qualified for the final of the World Cup, qualifying after beating a stubborn Algeria team. Kenya right now are going to be meeting the second best team in Africa, which is namely Namibia. Remember, the Simbas dug in to dispose of stubborn Algeria 36-3, while Namibia on the other semifinals bullied Zimbabwe to a 34-19, cruising to an easy 34-19 win. Kenya have a few injury worries. Collins Injera was injured. Onyala is also injured. So these are two players who are crucial players to Kenya. But the coach is feeling bullish, and it is that we will be able to qualify and beat Namibia. Kenya has beaten Namibia just twice in the previous 13 meetings since our first encounter in 1993. Kenya met Namibia last year in the World Rugby Talent Sports Challenge semi-final in November, and the Simbas blew away a 24-19 halftime lead to fall to a 60-24 loss. This is a hard game. This is a game that lies on the World Cup, direct qualification of World Cup hopes lay to Kenya. But the loser of this team, all hope is not lost. They will qualify to go and play for a repechage tournament, which will involve losers from other continents to come up with one person to qualify. So bring it back again to my people in the studio. How confident are you that on Sunday we will be going to a first major 15th Rugby World Cup?
Wow. From the game that I watched, the one they played against Algeria in the semifinals, it brings me back to what Mika said earlier when we're talking about Wajakoya's manifesto of how many productive hours we have at work. I hope my employer is not listening, but I watched the whole game. I watched the whole game. It was during work hours. Sorry, employer, if you're listening. But I watched the whole game, Rosafi. And
but you are productive though. You are double dipping.
Yes,
you are. Yes, you are.
But let me say I watched the whole game. I was productive on watching the game. So it was a very close game. It was closer than I'd expected it to be, but Kenya, went through. And I think that was a good test, to get us prepared for Sunday. Namibia has been beating us mentally. I think at this point, we are mentally prepared to face them. Sunday, we are one game away from qualifying to the 15th Rugby World Cup. This is something that I never thought. We've always been good in sevens. I never thought, I'd be here saying that Kenya is one game away from qualifying the Rugby World Cup. And this right here is something that I think this current generation of players, this Polodera's team, are very motivated. So I think what they need is mental preparation. We have what it takes to beat Namibia. Namibia has a very good team. They have World Cup experience. They've been to, several previous World Cups, but it's time to see something different. Now, I know there's that other tournament that we're going to go and play in case we don't beat Namibia, but I would rather we just get it done in Paris and qualify for the World Cup, which is going to be so big. And maybe Mika, tell us, where's the World Cup being hosted?
That is a good question.
Yeah. Because I know the World Cup is coming to the US. The Rugby World Cup is coming to the US. Not this one, but the World Cup, I think, after this one. Or is it the one after this? There's a World Cup.
Paris. It's going to be in Paris.
Or this one is going to be in Paris.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I believe it's in Paris.
So I'm hoping Kenyans in the European.
No, it's going to be New Zealand. New Zealand are going to be the host, not Paris.
Oh, so it's going to be in New Zealand.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that will be interesting. I don't know how many Kenyans are there in New Zealand. If Kenya qualifies for this World Cup,
it's gonna be in France. That's wrong information. It's gonna be in France.
Okay, so it's gonna be in France. So the World Cup is gonna be in France. So Uno was correct.
Mashengen visa
zipande.
Zimembuoka.
I am so tempted. I'm already tempted to get my ticket right now, even before the game. But if Kenya qualifies, that's something that we should all consider going to watch. That is gonna be big.
I have a friend called Wawero Gekonya, Marine.
Yes.
Bucket list yake was to attend a Rugby World Cup.
Yes.
And he attended the one in Japan. The story is behind the attendance. Mpaka you went and salimia the president, Cecil.
Ramaphosa.
Yes.
Cyril Ramaphosa.
Marine has got stories for days, being a rugby guy. But I'm with you on this one. I believe Namibia can go down, will go down. I also believe that, and I remember Polodera having written an article a while back, and I think
we read that article.
And we talked about exposing or introducing rugby not at 14 or 15, but even at a younger age. And that is why certain teams just do better because, like South Africa, you find out that those guys, even like, you remember how RVA, you just find guys, guys are small, but
the technical game. Sisi were relying on Ugali, but those guys are the technical game.
Yes. So if you introduce technicalities early, like PE football, like at 6, 7, whatever, even if it's not contact, but just technical game or whatever. Let me tell you something. we can do wonders.